Hello, I'm Peter Laws from Creepy Cove Community Church Podcast. I put out a video each week to let my patrons know, that means members of my Creepy Cove Patreon, let them know what sort of things are coming. But I'm at the moment making these videos available to everyone because I like to show a little cool thing as well. So firstly, let me share what's going on in the Patreon this week. Tomorrow, the Peter Laws podcast, that's my weekly show, that's for members only, that's coming out at 5 a.m, where this week I explore some very strange news, including an apparent boom in demand for exorcism during the pandemic, some stigma with regards to house prices and Nightmare on Elm Street, and also a particularly kind of strange and sad story about a nurse in England who has made some claims about her hospital, which combines all sorts of different bizarre ideas, and so I look into that case tomorrow. The next episode of Creepy Cove will be coming this weekend, and that will be exploring the topic of mental health, and we've got a special guest speaker coming in for that, as well as some special horror guest. Well, you'll find out more about that at the weekend. Okay, I want to show you something cool. As you can see, this is my can I just show you this? This is my homemade bookshelf. How about that? Basically just a few pieces of wood, a few kind of concrete blocks, put them together, you got a shelf, and it's actually pretty sturdy and everything. I've attached it together here as well, so it's not just sitting on top of itself, but it is actually, a lot of it is just gravity keeping it in place. But anyway, I wanted to show you a book, because on the Peter Laws podcast tomorrow, there's also a section where I share patrons' favourite, most funny films. And a few people said that one of their favourite horror comedies was Slither. Well, it made me think of this book that I have. The paperback edition of Slither, but it's not. I don't think it's related to the film. But the cover is gross. I'm going to show it to you in a second. But this is the paperback version from John Halkin. Check out this cover. Brace yourself. Oh, isn't that rough? Yes. Let me tell you what it says on the back. It says, from his first terrifying, bloody encounter with them, Matt Parker knew that they were lethal to the human race, and out of the murky sewers they suddenly attacked, snapping, biting, ripping at his flesh. And after the first sensationalism had died down, the newspapers lost interest, and the experts dismissed them as no more dangerous than ferrets. But people started to forget, but Matt knew different. All the time they were growing in size and numbers, and they preyed on living flesh. For when they returned, slithering out of village ponds, swimming pools, even bath pipes, the fate of the British population was sealed, and there was no more horrifying way to die than at the hands of a little slithery guy. So yeah, you'll never feel safe in your bath again, it says, which is a great title. Anyway, starts off with a quotation from Antony and Cleopatra. The worm is not to be trusted. There is no goodness in the worm. It's cool, isn't it? Anyway, this book came out, this paperback from hell. Let me see. It came out from Hamlin Paperbacks. And the release date on this is 1980. First published in 1980, second printing 1980. So it was obviously a very popular book at the time. And it's got the classic thing at the end where you could buy a bunch of books. Oh, they've got The Howling there, Return of the Howling. I've read all of those by mail order. But yeah, there you go. Just wanted to give you a basically a hefty look at this really gross cover. Isn't it weird to think that person who is probably walking around now, and I wonder if she has a copy of this book that she gets out and she says, I used to be a model. Here's one of the things I used to model for, and everyone thinks she's going to be, doing some sort of catwalk fashion show in Milan, and she says, look, this is one of my most well-known pieces. Anyway, that's Slither for you. I shall return that back to my paperbacks from hell shelf. show you some more of those in the future. Well, thanks for listening, everybody, and I'll see you in the Creepy Cove ether on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/Creepy Cove, or for free access to Creepy Cove podcast, go to creepycove.com. It's quite confusing, I suppose, all of this. Oh well. Bye!